Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you guys for being with me today and joining me again. As y'all can see, I have the lovely couple, the Strowders, back with me again tonight. They have came to drop some more gems and nuggets for you guys. So I'm not going to prolong it because I want them to give you guys as much resources and nuggets as they can give tonight because I know last time they really didn't get out everything they needed to give y'all. So we're not going to prolong it today. So, with that being said, y'all already know who I am. So, and y'all see my name on the screen. So, I don't have to do all of that part today. So, with that being said, I'm going to introduce to you again Mr. and Mrs. Strowder. So, I want to welcome you guys for coming back and finishing what you started last time. I do have a lot of people that was waiting for you guys to come back because they're not on Facebook, so they was watching you guys through my YouTube, and they were, you know, they really liked what you guys talked about. They said that they got a lot of things that they felt like they could apply to themselves from you guys. So I want to make sure that they can get some more of that from you guys. So a lot of my viewing party for the ones that are not on Facebook, you guys can still go to their website to reach out to them. All right. So just because you're not on Facebook does not mean you cannot reach out to them. All right. I am going to put their link tree in the comment section so you guys can get it tonight. It will go to all of the platforms. Make sure you reach out to them because I know you wanted the information from last time. So you guys will have it tonight. Um, also, I do believe you guys are y'all have the y'all still have the messenger group too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that you guys know how to reach them. So once you sign up for once you go onto their stuff on Facebook, you can also get an opportunity to get messages from them through Messenger, and they will send you guys information that way. They will talk to you on the actual page on Facebook as well. And do they have a way of speaking to you guys through the website too?
Yes,
Yeah.
they can send us
Mhm.
messages through the website.
Okay. All right. So awesome. Y'all heard it straight from the source. So you guys can actually talk to them through the website as well. Make sure you reach out to them because I know there was some information that you wanted that I could not answer. So the two people you need to ask are right here on the screen. So make sure you reach out to them so you can get the information that you needed. All right. So without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Today we wanted to cover more mind shift change and habit changing because that was high in demand the last time we came and talked. And we wanted to change it a little differently. Instead of just dropping knowledge gems, we wanted to take and focus on things that you can actually start doing tonight or tomorrow if you wanted to start making those positive changes in your life. So that's what we're going to be talking about today and really focusing on things that you can start doing immediately to see a change.
Awesome.
So, the first, I'm sorry, the first thing we was talking about is more about looking at the long term when you're planning out your goals. You know, sometimes you can have a goal, but it be short sighted, and when you're looking at what the long term positives of you changing whatever it is that you're doing, that you can take a step back and you could make small mile markers in which it'll take for you to achieve your goal. But it all comes from an alignment from yourself. So just because you set one goal, you don't want to set it because other people are doing it. You want to set it and keep it true to you. So for instance, with me, over the past, I'll say this past January, I've been trying to lose some weight because I was on the heavier side, and to me, doing what I do currently now is more of a physical thing. So I noticed at times I get very, tired and winded doing the normal activities that I could easily do like a year from now. So I just so happened to get into water fasting, and I was able to use that platform and to learn as much knowledge as I can and apply it. And I was able to actually drop weight pretty quickly. And usually, like when you break your fast, you tend to pick up on some weight. And for me, that was okay. For a lot of people, sometimes it can be like disheartening because it's not going exactly how you plan. But the point is when you have that long term goal, my goal is to lose weight however it feels comfortable for me. Even if you have, a day where it doesn't go as planned, it doesn't stop you from your overall goal. So for me, I just keep going. So, and then I take everything and usually I'll write it down. I'll keep a journal. And on the daily, I'll take some time and I'll write out how I'm feeling, how this is making me feel. If I was having like cravings or anything like that, I would notate that I was having a craving. But this is the reason why I was having a craving and what emotion, led me to taking my next action. So, as far as like my point is, just make sure whatever your long term goals are going to be, that they align with you and keep true to yourself. It makes it so much easier and it keeps you so much more dedicated.
So would you tell a person that you feel like they should start with, because you hear people say that you should start out with more attainable goals first.
Yes.
You hear people say that. So do you feel like that is a way a person should start if they're doing like I'm not
No.
gonna say a vision board because
Yeah, I got you.
I don't even like to use that term. But if they're saying that they're trying to stick to the goals, become accountable for what they're trying to reach,
Right.
would you say that that's what they should do? Do the most attainable goals first, and then continue to reach for the bigger stuff?
Yes, because you always want to start that way. If you don't and you try to reach too far too quickly, then what happens is then you end up letting yourself down, and when you let yourself down, you'll get stuck back in your old habits, and then it makes it that much harder for you to actually get started again.
Okay.
So I have to tell. Okay, I'm gonna be a little personal. So I talk with my brother a lot, and he asks for my advice. And when I try to give him my advice because he tries to do what I do, and I know him because it's my brother, of course. And I'm like, you have to start what's comfortable for you. What I'm doing, you haven't even like grazed it yet. You need to take it slow, take baby steps. That way you can celebrate your many accomplishments because it's all worth celebrating in the end. Whether or not once you complete it, that's like the big celebration. But every little baby milestone in between, everything worth celebrating is worth celebrating. So then you should do baby steps. It's always baby steps.
Awesome. Okay. So
To
you guys heard it. The attainable goals first.
Right. To add to what he said, we normally teach to use the SMART goal method. And when we're talking about obtainable goals, really what you want it to be is realistic to your situation and the time restraint that you're putting on yourself. If anything is possible if you give yourself enough time and you do enough work for it.
So do
So,
you feel like a person should do time restraint?
I'm sorry.
Do you feel like a person should do you feel like a person should do time restraint?
You definitely need to do time restraint because if you don't, it's going to cause you to be able to make a lot of excuses and a lot of delays on your progress. So, what we recommend is let's say your goal is to lose 100 pounds. That's a huge time restraint. Don't say, okay, I got 3 months because you're setting yourself up for failure.
Okay.
Say, okay, I have a year to lose 100 pounds. My start date is now, my end date is 1 year from now, and you set little mini goals in between there. Those are the attainable goals that just make more common sense. This month, I'm going to lose 10 pounds.
Okay.
That's 30 days to lose 10 pounds. That is very attainable. And as you do that, in 10 months, if you keep doing that, that's your 100 pounds. And if you have 2 months where you messed up, you still meet your 100 pounds. Like that's what we mean by making sure it's realistic for your situation and your time restraint.
Okay.
But I just don't want them to feel like they have to lessen their goal because it just seems so impossible. Make the goal that you want, just make it realistic for your situation and the time restraint that you're setting. Because if you don't, it's just you're gonna fail and you're gonna feel like I just can't do this. And that's not true. You just think give yourself enough time, which is what you needed to do meet your
So
goal.
we have a question from you somebody that's watching from YouTube. They
Okay.
said,
Oh,
so
okay.
what's the it? They said, so how do you? Let me make sure I'm looking at this right. Okay, so they said, how do you obtain your goals if you have an issue with accountability?
Oh, then if you have an issue, oh, I'm sorry,
No,
that
you're
is
fine. That is a part of the process
okay,
too. So
right. So, that you if you don't, it's easier if you find groups or role models that are on the similar path that you want to follow. So it makes it easier for you to kind of it gives you more of a more of like more motivation, more insight, more inspiration to keep going because
Okay.
you see other people doing it. It's the hardest thing to do is to actually do something alone.
Okay.
And when you have something where you can kind of pull inspiration from or pull motivation from, it makes it that much easier to do it. Because once you're doing it alone, you're only relying on yourself and your
yes.
brain's constantly fighting itself, trying to make sure it's taking the easiest way possible, even though, you could have done a little bit more today, So that's what
The
and
same
that
person.
helps.
Okay, so the same person says, well, my issue is I'm fighting the issue of accountability. I always say that I want to start something, and then I try to find an accountability partner. My accountability partner is holding me to what I say I want to do, but I always have an issue following through.
Okay, so that is an issue with a mindset change. You're doing the steps to be having someone to help you hold yourself accountable, but your mindset is not there. So, what I would say is sit down, write your goal out, and write 5 to 10 reasons why this is important to you. A lot of things that you have to do, you have to really make it personal to you. If it's not personal to you, then you can find a million excuses why not to do it. Even when you have someone trying to motivate you to do it, you can reason in your own mind. Our mind is what makes us do everything. And that's what you're doing. You're reasoning your own mind against yourself with your better efforts. And so you want to focus on why you're doing it. Take the time, write it down, write why am I doing this? And that can become kind of an affirmation for you every morning or every night. Make sure you read through that as you're trying to back out of obligations that you know you're supposed to be doing. Read that, and it'll give you the motivation that you
Yeah.
need.
Your why. Oh,
So go ahead.
no. Your why, your reason for doing what you do will really help, pull you from those dark times. Because sometimes you can't call on that person, to be accountable at, every time of the day. So sometimes really digging in and being like, this is why I'm doing this. This is the reason why for the outcome, the positive of me reaching my goal is way better than what I would do if I had done nothing. So when just to keep that'll keep you grounded. Just keep playing that in your mind, and that should help.
Yes. The more you repeat it, the better to be. It'll be ingrained in you. It'll be more than just written on the paper. Every time you go to make that decision to procrastinate, you'll think about your why. And it'll be self motivation. You won't need that accountability partner anymore because you created a mindset change.
Awesome. So I think that YouTuber, I think that I don't think I gotta break it down because I think they said it in a way that I believe that you can understand. But I think that pretty much, hello, good evening, Facebook user. Can you please state who you are? Because I don't want to call you Facebook user. Um, because it's not saying your name. But I think that pretty much they're just saying if you could find your why,
Mhm.
it'll help you with the becoming accountable part.
Mhm.
because a lot of times I do believe if you don't understand why you're doing it, you won't do it. So, so yeah, I think that that was a really good nugget. Continue.
Okay. So the next thing we wanted to talk about is solution driven habits. The reason this is important, especially for me, is because I am normally a pessimistic person. Something bad happens and I am focused on this problem and I'm just dwelling on it. So ever since I kind of discovered this has been my new way to handle it. It helps me to relieve stress and help me to be more solution driven and working on the solution, not focus so much on the problem. What I normally do is whenever I have a problem, I write it down and then I try to come up with 5 or 10 possible solutions. Now, not all of them are going to work. It's literally just ideas. You're brainstorming ideas that could fix your problem. Then
Okay.
you're going to evaluate your options and pick a plan A and a plan B just in case. And then you start working towards those solutions. And it's really just, I know it sounds very like dumbed down and really simple, but it's really just that simple. If you
Okay.
can sit and just focus on your problem and come up with those solutions, maybe not 10 if it's too much, but five solutions to any problem you're having. For example, you're challenging with finances. You have a full time job, but you're challenging with finances. How can you improve that? Okay, you can budget your bills better. You can cut some expenses. You can get a part time job. You can do a podcast. You can start doing Lyft or Uber or something like that. And then look at your situation, your life. Which ones are the best ones for me? You might have to pick two to put together. I need to fix my budget and I need to do Uber or Lyft sometimes to make sure everything is good. But you're working on a solution. You're just not, woe is me. And every time you turn around, it's your financial problem is holding you back. You're having a solution to work towards and do that for every single problem. That's literally going to change your mindset. Every time a problem comes up, you're literally going to start doing it. Just like we were saying in the last one, the more you do it, the more it's going to show up in your life. Every time you have a problem, you're going to become that annoying, optimistic person because as soon as a problem comes up, you're going to be like, well, you can do this, this, and this. And I think this might be the best one. Let's do it. And they're going to be like, I wanted to be mad for a second. Like, let me be mad for 1 second. And you're going to be ready to go. Like, let's fix this. Why even dwell on it? And it's just going to be so great. You're going to have a more positive outlook on life. I know last time we talked about a lot of suicide and a lot of depression issues. That is going to really change your life. When you talk to people that are depressed, all they name is their problems. They don't have a solution in sight, but all they can name is their problems. Once you start looking for those solutions, it's not just fixing your little everyday problems. And I want you to use it on everything, small things, big things, everything. But it's going to change your outlook on your entire life. And you're going to start seeing things positively because honestly, life is just ups and downs. You're going to be up and you're going to be down. Problems are going to happen. And if it gets you so down that you're stuck in a rut for weeks and months and years, imagine the toll that that takes on your life, that you're constantly stuck with this one problem. Like a lot of people in our group have financial problems, even though they have like they have their job and they also have a business. And a lot of times when we ask them when they come in, their problem is finances. They have a business, they have their 9 to 5, and they still have a problem with finances. So that's something that they need to evaluate and get more solution driven with their habits.
Yeah.
Now,
So
go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as that part that you were just talking about, because we was just literally having a conversation about this like a couple days ago. I truly feel like when you're getting ready to go into business, if you know you have an issue with your personal finances, you need to talk to a financial advisor before you start your business so that you will not bring the same issue you have with your personal finances to your business finances.
Right.
Yes.
And that's just to a rule of thumb and to keep it safe for you because you don't want to be bringing your business account in the red because you're taking your business stuff and using it on personal,
Mhm.
Right.
and vice versa have you. But that's just a rule of thumb for anybody that's listening and you're starting want to start a business. If you know that you're not good with personal finances, I suggest you get a financial advisor who can talk you through that part. And budgeting is always good for anybody, especially an adult.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Continue.
Also, one thing, if it's just personal, you can also get a financial advisor for that as well, and they are affordable. I've seen a lot on Facebook, and they have whole programs and different webinars and stuff that you can do that can actually help. So if it's not like you're starting a business or something, but you're ready to get on track, you could still do that as well.
And to add to that, they also have like financial literary courses for, I know a lot of times that a lot of the words that they use are very complicated unless you know exactly what you're looking for. So they have these courses that'll go and they'll teach you, basically what if you don't know what a checking account is, or if you don't know what a savings account is, or you don't know what a 401k truly means and how you can, break different things down. It just makes it a lot easier for you to then go and, fix your finances, because everybody's different. Everybody has different businesses, different business accounts, and different portfolios and everything. And a lot of that could be confusing. So not only do you want to get, somebody to help you with your finances, it wouldn't hurt to study a little bit of the language yourself, so at least what you're talking about, versus them just telling you what they think is the best for you. You can actually sit down and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So the next thing we want to cover is daily reflection. We kind of touched on it a little bit last time, but I think it's something that you can start tonight and really start seeing a difference in the morning. The first thing we want to cover is kind of finding positivity in negative situations. It's really hard to do that, but like we were saying previously, it
Oh, you can go ahead. I'll go ahead.
like we were saying previously, it's about the mindset change. So if you start looking for positively in negative situations, you'll start to see that more and start to pull that more to you. So you'll any situation, a bad story, but a personal story. He got in a car accident with our car, and at first it was just like. Oh my God, like our car is completely totaled and everything. And the first thing I said when I talked to him was, well, the payment was too much for us anyway.
Oh God.
At least they're
Yeah.
going to pay off the car and we'll just start fresh with something else. At least we have good insurance and they're going to pay off the car and we'll do something more reasonable. So it's just kind of like that. Just find the silver lining in everything that happens.
Mhm.
And that sometimes it actually does help because you're in that situation for a reason. And sometimes that reason can be a lesson. And if you're too busy focused on the negative aspect of it, you won't be able to grasp that lesson. So try to look for the positivity inside of every negative situation just to bring those positive vibes back to you. And you'll be noticing it more throughout your day, throughout your life.
And even if sometimes a lot of the time I like to, like I was saying before, I like to write. So at night, if I'll take out a journal. You can take out a journal as well, and just like 10-15 minutes, just go over your day, and you can think about how, what did I do right here, what did I do wrong here, and what was my part in each one. And then at that point you'll be able to kind of understand how you're creating certain scenarios in your life and which emotions are driving you to create these scenarios, as well as that was my train of thought. As well as just trying to better yet figure yourself out, because there's a lot of times during the day where we just quickly just react to certain situations, and we don't give it that time to pause and see how we're really showing up or how we're really acting. So at the night or in the afternoon or wherever you can get time to actually write it out, you can sit back and look and be, this is how I reacted, this is how I should have reacted, And it could have changed the entire scenario. And even if, let's say, something negative happened at work, and you realize at the end of the day that, hey, this is my fault. I shouldn't have reacted this way. Maybe I should have tried to diffuse the situation different. You can come in the next day with a more positive attitude, pull that person to the side and say, hey, I'm sorry for doing this, that, and the third. I should have done it different. And even though that person may not been ready to hear that, at least you were able to get it out and express it that way. You can just leave it up to them, because you can't control other people's actions, but you can control what you do. So I think that that's also very important too, because other than that, you'll just be, going through the next day and the next day and not really being aware of how you're showing up or how your actions actually do have consequences. Because I actually just thought of something. It's funny because we teach children their actions have consequences, and sometimes as adults, you lose sight of that and you forget that, and you can get, and we can get in our egos and think that everything we're doing is right. And if you was to sit and step at the sidelines and look at your own situation differently, you could see, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do. And just taking that pause to just realize that I'm not doing this right. Something here is wrong. And I may not see it now, but now that I'm reflecting on it at the end of the day or whenever, I see it then. And then that's how you can make the change.
You have a question.
Oh.
The question says, do you feel like you should just have one journal for everything, or do you feel like you should have a journal for different events?
It's your personal preference, I would say. What works best for you. If it's hard for you to maintain several different journals,
then just have one.
Just have one. Whatever it. Remember, this whole process is being customized to you. Mm-hmm. So if you just want one thing where everything is there, like a diary, do that. If you need, like me, I have pieces of paper everywhere. I have notes everywhere. I have notes on my computer. I have written notes. If that's the way you are, then do that. Whatever works for you. What's important is getting it out and writing it down in the reflection process itself.
Okay, because they said what they have been doing is they have been writing it all in one notebook, and they've been taking like color-coded sticky notes and saying like, well, this is like red is relationship related. This color is because, work, or this is children, and they got it color-coded throughout the notebook. And they'll stick that, a sticky note to say.
No, but that's a great idea. I like it too.
Yeah.
For the organization, because if they ever want to go back and reflect on past, they can have it more organized for them to see it. So if that works for them and that's what they need to do, I say do it.
Right. Honey, whoever you are, your journal sound like my Bible.
Organized and color coded. I like that.
Right, because I got like certain in my Bible I highlighted with different colors for stuff, for different reasons, and that's how I do it in when I'm reading and I'm studying. So I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. If that's how it has to come to you and that's how it works for you, don't change it. Because then once you change it, you're gonna be off track.
Right.
Yeah, don't change it.
Yeah, do what you need to do. I did want to add to that, for those that are not writers, because I know everybody is not like taking notes and writing like we are, you could still do a daily reflection. Like we said, we want this to be something that you could do starting right now. Literally what I started doing is before bed, just talk it out. You're alone, or just say what went good today. And then kind of say your part in it. I ate good. I went to the gym, and that was me. I motivated myself to do it. Okay, so what went bad today? Well, I didn't do the work that I wanted to do. Why not? Well, because I was being lazy and I wanted to binge watch my show, or I wanted to go out with my friends. Like, take responsibility in your actions. So at least you got it out. You talked about it. And as you continue to do it, it will still become a habit. So it's not just strictly.
You have another person that says, do you feel like it's okay for them to video vlog?
Perfect. Yes, it's a great way.
They said they're not writers, but they do like a daily vlog, and they'll get
Yeah.
on for 30 minutes or so, say how they felt, give a little rundown of the day, and then they're done.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's excellent.
absolutely. And that
Okay.
if you get a following that actually keeps you more accountable,
Hmm.
you're influencing other people, that's definitely going to help you form those good habits, help you see more positively in your day, and help you to assess your actions as they're happening. Because the more practice you get, the more you actually start noticing, like he was saying, instead of going back and having to say, oh, I messed up, you'll be able to catch yourself like, oh, I'm messing
Okay.
up. Let me stop right here and be able to do it the right way. And
Awesome.
so, yeah, anything that works for you, I definitely think the vlog is a good idea. If you're that type of person and you want to share it with other people, that would be great. I think
Awesome.
that's definitely something that you can do, but I think everybody should start tonight.
Yes.
Awesome. Then
Whether
now
you're
they said,
talking,
do you recommend that they just continue to do it on their personal thing? Because they said that they've been doing it on their Facebook. But they said, do you recommend that they continue to do it just on their personal page, or should they start like a YouTube channel and do it?
Um, yeah, I mean, you can definitely start a YouTube channel. You can, putting your story out there is a big leap. But if you're totally comfortable with doing that, even if you're not comfortable with doing that, you should do it anyway. You never know what can come from that. You can putting your story out there can hit and touch the hearts of so many more people. You can have people reaching out to you, dealing with the same thing that you're going through, and seeing how you're able to overcome it, and that just gives them more motivation and more just willpower and overall joy. So I think that's definitely a good idea to put it on YouTube.
especially since you're already used to doing it. You literally already recording yourself. I say go for it. YouTube
Mm-hmm.
has like YouTube Live where you can just pop in and do it. They have YouTube Shorts. So if that's something you're already used to doing, definitely share it. It might become something bigger than what you think.
You never
And
know.
yeah, and also like podcasts. If you don't want to show your face like this, you can kind of show your face, but you don't have to. You can
Right.
literally do a podcast and talk about your day and talk
And
about
have
your
audio.
yeah, your
Yeah.
audio, and it's just your voice, and people listen to it and they're driving or jogging or whatever. Same thing. You might touch them. You make money from those things. You make connections. You network from those things. So, like Denzel said, it might become something bigger than you even thought it could be.
Awesome. I thank y'all for giving them that nugget. Uh, I hope you guys are really listening. Mostly all of the questions coming to y'all tonight are coming from the YouTube.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. That's
So yeah, so I'm just looking and reading like, okay, well, I'll interject and give them the question. So yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's
more
smart.
questions. We definitely want to answer questions
Mhm.
and give feedback. Um, So the one other story I wanted to tell was about a self-fulfilling prophecy really quick. So we have two sons, and one of them is the smallest one is 5. And we always talk to him about self-fulfilling prophecies. And I thought it would be something nice to share in the group. So I guess I'll share with you guys too.
awesome.
He he is really cute, but he if even if he's never tried anything, he'll just say, I can't. And because he's only 5 and he's never done it before, of course, when we convince him to try it, he can't. And so he's like, see, I told you I can't. And then he never wants to try it again. So the gist of the story is we do that to ourselves all the time. You've never done it, you've never attempted to do it, or you tried once and you failed, and you're just putting yourself that mindset change. It can be opposite as well. You can affect yourself negatively and put yourself in a rut. And this self fulfilling prophecy is literally you setting yourself up for failure by saying that you can't, not giving yourself time, or at least trying a second time to get better at it. And you're just setting it up for it to fail. And you're going to continue to fail. So I say just be mindful of what you say, even of what you think. You can think that I can't, that I'm going to fail, and you will fail because your mind is everything. Your mind is you. We follow our brain. So if you say you're going to fail, you're not going to give it 110%. You're not going to try as much as you would have, and you're going to fail. So that is the gist of a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's why we want to avoid those thoughts and that negative talking, even just to ourselves.
Awesome. I'm just scrolling up the screen.
Oh,
Y'all too.
cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is an exercise I actually did a couple of weeks ago. But I feel that it still holds true to everybody. So it's basically what I call a personal mission statement.
Okay.
So it's a statement showing, explaining how you want to show up in the world and how you want to continue to do your daily life. Anybody can do it. You just want to make sure that it's basically something brief, something that you kind of explain, and always it should align with you. So for me, y'all put me on the spot here. Y'all got me on the spot. Y'all got me on the spot. So, mine's I said put manifesting dreams and unleashing greatness through self-discipline, reflection, communication, boldness, and the application of knowledge. So for me, my goal is, if you don't get it from us, I want people to manifest their own dreams. I grew up in a family where it was very toxic, and even now, I still deal with family members that don't get what they want, but also don't try for what they want, or they try for what they want and they continue to fail, and they don't see while they're failing. So what my first goal is, I want to help them and help you realize that anything that you want to do is actually possible. You have to know how to do it. So also self-discipline through myself. Like I say, I do fast, and I do want to make sure I'm self-aware of my emotions and my interactions with other people. So I want to make sure that I'm coming into these situations, giving my positive feedback, trying to be empathetic, seeing it from, their side if we're having a conflict, or, being the optimistic person in a negative situation to hopefully flip their mood, because, it's not called for that. So then also through reflection, I continue to reflect daily. Then I communicate. So I want to make sure that I'm communicating efficiently and effectively through whether it be my wife or my kids, or, from people that I work. Then I'm boldness, which means I want to do things that I'm not comfortable doing. Things that I may not have done in 20 years, but I'll do it. And I may be afraid, but I'm still going to do it, because I feel that a lot of the times, they have the saying, like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks,
Mhm.
but that's not true. Many people, can learn, but they don't want to learn because they're afraid of, what if I do it wrong? What if I can't do it? But you can do it. You're just afraid of judgment, or
Right.
maybe you're, insecure about how you're going to be perceived. So I want to jump out of that. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. If I want to dance, I can dance. If I want to sing, I can sing. I shouldn't be afraid to do it just, for other people. And then the application of knowledge basically means just I want to be able to implement what I learn. So I take in information and I'm able to implement it to see whether or not it's going to work for me or it's not going to work for me. Not everything we learn is going to work for you. Some things you may take here, maybe just a little bit of work for you. Okay, that works, and you can move on to the next. So that's basically the breakdown of mine. But you want to start it with an action verb ing. You want to make it 16. You can make it up to 16 words. And make it personal to you. Make it something that when you say it you feel it. You feel it in your soul. Right there. You feel it'll keep you going. I promise you, it'll keep you going. And the more you do it, and the more you say it, the more it'll actually manifest itself to other people. People will start being attracted to you because they see how you're showing up. They see what you're doing, and they like what you're doing, or they resonate with you. Now you can build opportunities and friendships from people that you may not even know, but because you're putting yourself out there this in this certain way, you attract them to you. So that's why I feel that just having that, just having that is a good thing to have. You got anything on that today?
I think that the personal mission statement does relate to our first topic as well, aligning your life to your long term goals. So once you make your personal mission statement, pick your battles. If it doesn't align with your personal mission statement and your goals, why are we going through it? Why are we struggling through it? Why are we choosing to deal with this if it doesn't align with what we are trying to do and how we're trying to show up in our life? And so I think that that's a good rule of thumb to start living by as you go day to day. Just kind of think about the situations. We get really mad and upset and react to a lot of things that we might not even have to react to. We can go ahead and skip over that because it doesn't have anything to do with us. It's not something that we need to address. And
Right.
that solve a lot of problems in our life.
Right. Okay. And I say it all the time. I say that everything don't deserve a reaction, and there's certain things you really should not give energy to. Because once you open the door and you give your energy to it, it's hard to
To
kind
take
of, to yeah, and it's kind of hard to get away from it because now that you didn't open the door once, they feel like they can always come and continue to dump
right.
the same type of stuff on you. And yeah, you have to know what your assignments are because
Mhm.
everything is not your assignment. So
Right.
yeah, I totally agree.
And even in that, that's why communication is key because um communication is key because you have to set those boundaries and you have to be willing to, not be afraid by what the other person is going to say just because this is you're not, you're not going to take that.
Right.
So if this is something you don't want to do and it doesn't align with you, don't be afraid to tell them that and explain them this is the reason why I'm not doing this. And if they really, either are your family or they want to be your friend or they want to respect you, they'll respect that. And they should hopefully understand because not everybody can understand. But
Why do you think it's so hard for people to actually set boundaries?
fear,
Mhm.
mainly fear is I think it's fear. And I think that it's because the conversation doesn't want to be had by either one party or the other. So when you try to have the conversation, then it kind of gets real murky. You kind of like sugarcoat over some things without really saying what you're trying to say, and then nobody gets like it's not clear. Nobody really understands what the other is trying to say.
You think it's the fear of losing the other person, or
It
Yeah,
can
yeah,
it
be.
can be.
yeah,
It can be. And fear manifests in a lot of different ways, and lack of self esteem, lack of security, those type of things are how fear manifests. And having anxiety about those things is another way. Fear can manifest in a lot of things. I know we're talking about relationships, but even just simple things. If your goal is to become an entrepreneur and you're working a 9 to 5, and your job is stressing you out and making you come home and be hard with your family and be hard on your kids because you're so stressed out, your goal is to be an entrepreneur.
right,
Why are you letting this job stress you out? This job is a means to an end. Don't mess up
right,
your family life for something that you're not even trying to be there for the long haul. It's and then your fear of losing that. I need this money. I need this money. Do you really though?
right,
Like what do you actually need? Evaluate that and see what you actually need to have.
right,
Do you really need to go through this type of stress to get this little bit of money to reach your ultimate goal? Probably not. If it's that stressful, it is causing you that much grief, you probably don't have to go through it.
And think about it this way: in the end, when you actually do get what you want, you'll look back and be like, "Well, now was it really worth it?" It turns out to be worth it because here you are. Now you're an entrepreneur. Now you don't have to stress. Now you get that time back, and you get to do what you want without being bombarded by whatever your previous stressors was. So then it makes complete sense to get rid of that job or to find another way as quickly as you possibly can, instead of sitting there and dwelling on it and stressing over it, and then before you know it, 5-10 years go by and you're like, oh, I wish I would have done it,
at
and
that same 9 to 5.
right, and you're
Right.
still there.
Yeah.
Right. And
Especially,
I think a lot of times a lot of people use that well, I can't walk away from that because I don't have anything else to fall back on just yet as an excuse to not go ahead and do the entrepreneurial thing or to
right,
do or to chase after that dream. Because
right,
if you sit down and you tell somebody, well, to be honest with you, if you know that owning your own business is where it is, if you work a 9 to 5, you're not going to be able to do both.
right,
No.
So you're
Once,
going to have to make a decision at some point to either walk away from 9 to 5
hmm,
so that you can pursue this goal or not.
right.
mhm.
You know,
And they're too scared. They're too
yeah,
scared because it's uncertain. But if you would have took the risk, just like with Bitcoin and all this investments and stuff, if you take the risk, you a lot of times get the reward. It's when you take unplanned risk, is where you don't get the reward and you end up failing. Plan, I say take the time and plan and take the time to save money, okay, but put a deadline on it.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to save X amount of money, and this is the time that I'm going to quit. And don't move that back. Don't be
right,
scared to step out. You have to do that, whether it's with the job or with the relationship. Like we're
right,
talking, you were saying about a relationship. If this person, you're so scared to lose this person by telling them your personal mission statement, like really think about this. This is a statement that identifies with the core of who you are. If you're scared of losing somebody because you're going to tell them the core of who you are, that person should not be in your life.
right.
Cut 'em off.
Flat out.
Mhm.
They should not be in your life.
I tell people all the time, sweetie, I would prefer that my friends tell me the truth. And if you can't tell me the truth, then you're not my friend. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. We recently did a show called, and the title was "What About Your Friends?" And at the end of the day, if you can't honestly say that your friends will pull you to the side or turn to you and say, you were wrong.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That they're not always your amen corner. They don't agree with everything that you do. They will pull you. You were dead wrong. Go fix it.
Right.
And tell you that, then that's not a friend. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
The people.
If you feel like a person that agrees with you on everything is your friend, you're sadly mistaken.
Yes.
You don't need a yes man. You need somebody that's
Yes,
gonna hold you accountable.
Yes.
right, right. And that's the biggest thing for me is the accountability. I would rather have you say, "Excuse me, sis," but no, that was not right. Go fix that. You need to go apologize to such and such, and you need to make that right. Fix your attitude. Whatever the situation may be, but come straight out and tell you the truth. Because if they don't tell you the truth, you'll never fix it,
Right.
and
Right.
you'll continue to stay that way, thinking that you're right, and you're not.
Mhm.
And that's the biggest thing. You don't never want to go in life because your attitude says a lot about who you are.
Right.
Yes.
And if you got a ratchet attitude, your attitude is always just like your attitude is like a defense mode, or it's just bad. You won't go far.
No.
You can't go far on a job. You're not gonna go far with people that you're trying to get something from, to
Mhm.
have any type of business with, because they're not gonna want to deal with you because of your attitude.
Right.
How
And
you
your
show?
relationships
Oh
too.
no,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, how you show up in one thing is how we show up in all things.
right,
So everybody just take that and just think on that. How you
Yeah.
showing up now, or how you showing up at work? Those same traits go and follow everything.
Yeah.
right.
So
You want to reflect on all of that. So I think that is mostly what we wanted to cover. We can do a summary because I really want you guys to start doing these things immediately,
Okay,
as soon as possible on your everyday life. So the first thing that we went over was making sure your long-term goals align with your daily life. You're not, if it's not working towards your goal, we're not going to be stressing and putting so much emphasis and so much time and effort on something that is not going towards our main goal or aligning with our mission statement.
okay,
Being solution driven and creating those habits. In every negative situation, we're looking for the positive. and we're finding solutions by writing it down, naming 5 or 10 solutions to that problem, evaluating your options, and choosing a plan A and a plan B, and then working towards the solution, not just leaving it there. You have to put in the work.
Then we have the daily reflection, whether it be a journal, podcast, talking out loud, video logs. Just get those emotions out. Get your daily reflection in. Think about what you did right, what you did wrong. How can you overcome these challenges, and how your emotions played a part, and what part did you play? And then also just take the time. You don't have to, you can do it tonight, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you could start planning out your personal mission statement. Remember, it's 16 words long, starting with an ing, easy to explain, and something that aligns with you.
And it's not about perfection, it's about the process. This is about a mindset shift, change, and building habits. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah,
It's
we're all
going to
on
happen
journeys.
slow. Yes, very slow every day, doing these 4 activities that we gave you guys and creating that mindset change. So the next time that we come, we can see all those comments and see all these positive changes because
Very
you've been
true.
implementing these 4 things and actually seeing a change in your life.
This is what somebody said, and I second that notion, you guys. I be getting them all the time. So this time it wasn't me. So I'm gonna say it to them. They said that they feel like you guys should do a 21 to 30-day mind shift challenge.
Okay, we're doing setting up
All right,
webinars and workshops. So that is a good workshop idea. I think that's something that we can actually plan out. We're planning out different webinars, workshops, and courses. So we'll definitely add that in. We'll take our notes right now, and then the next time we come and talk to you guys, we want to come back before the end of the year, and we'll have that stuff ready for you guys and have the links all ready so we can get started.
Yes, because I think that's awesome. If you do a 21 to 30-day mind shift challenge and then challenge everybody, come on, however you guys decide to do it, come on and be with the people daily. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? That way that you holding them accountable because they got to log in. You register.
Of course.
Right.
Get up
Don't be
here
afraid
every
to log
day.
in.
Right. You know what I'm saying? They got to get up here every day because they have registered for it. And you're gonna get up here every day. You are now accountable, and you got to get up here and you got to put in the work, you guys. So that's a definite. I second the notion. So I get it. I understand. I'm waiting. You know what I mean? So I'm always waiting. So you know for them to do something. But yes, that's a definite. I second that notion.
Okay. So we're definitely going to take that in mind, and we're already creating stuff now in the background. It's just so much work to do, and to have it, we want to present it to you guys. And if it costs, we want to upload. We want to have it be worth your money. So we're definitely planning and getting everything all together. So we'll definitely add that in. I'm happy you guys liked it, and I hope to see some changes and some really good comments.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So when you guys come back, y'all better be ready because she gave y'all homework. I got y'all names too, by the way. So don't make me YouTube you to find you to tell y'all got to have y'all stuff together. All right. So yes.
I definitely want to hear about it. I want to see the comments and see what changes happen positive in your life. So if you could leave them under this video as it's happening, we can go over that and we can give advice too. So you might not be able to make it to the next one.
Don't forget, y'all can get them by going. I put their link tree in the beginning of the show. So y'all can see it in the comment section. So you can get to them outside of Facebook if you're not on Facebook, because I get it. I know everybody's not up here. So I made sure y'all have access to them outside of Facebook. All right. So y'all can reach them personally and say, hey, I watched the show and da 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 da. They'll know that it's you. So do what you gotta do.
Definitely reach out. And you can also email us. It's really easy. The same name, blackdreamscapers@gmail.com. And you can email us and we'll email you back. It's not a problem. But yeah, definitely leave messages here. Come back and update us so the next time she can pull up the messages and we can give you feedback.
Yes.
about it if you can't make it to the live
Yes.
meeting and leave the comments. So that would be great to go over that with you guys.
Yes. And thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have
Yeah,
some.
thank you, guys. Oh, so
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Thank you for watching. This is only our second time on, and honestly, this is like our second time actually having a conversation like this. So we really do appreciate everybody that took the time out of their day to watch.
Yes, I appreciate you guys for coming. Y'all had some really good questions tonight, by the way. So I appreciate that. I thank you guys because y'all really had some good stuff, especially the person with the accountability. You got to work on that, sir. You got to work on the whole accountability thing because it's just like a person that procrastinate. I want you to put that and procrastination in the same toe. If
Mm-hmm.
you know that there's something you got to do, instead of just going ahead and getting up and doing it, you're like, no, I'll just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and you still don't do it. It's one of those moments you got to work on it and it has to get better or you'll never get it done.
And
Mhm.
sometimes
Go ahead.
I don't know if I said this before, but sometimes I actually just kind of thought about this and learned this a little bit today that procrastination sometimes can come in the form of loneliness. You know, a lot of us don't like to do things alone, or the thought of doing this alone will actually hinder you from actually doing it. So just like I said before, finding, those support groups, or if you are lucky enough to have somebody supported enough in your life, to have them hold you accountable and make sure that they're actually following up with you, because that's the biggest thing. You can have somebody and be like, hey, I need you to hold me accountable, but if they're not following up with you, then there's no reason for you to have talked to them in the first place.
Right.
So even if that doesn't work, you can always like have in the back of your mind. I know loved ones. I might go a little sad here. I lost my grandmother back when I was in high school, and I didn't have that much of a relationship with her. So it kind of hurt me a little bit because now that I'm older and I have kids and I'm married, she didn't get a chance to see all of that. So
Right.
a lot of things, a lot of milestones that I had, you know, I I missed on sharing that experience with her. So,
Hey, Simone.
sometime. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying hello. People are
Oh,
coming in, so I'll just say hello to them. Go ahead.
yeah. Sometimes I think to myself that my grandmother will be proud if I did this, and that keeps me going. That gives me that little bit extra if I don't have, anything to call on or to attach myself to when I'm really procrastinating on a deep seated issue that I know, needs to get done. So I find that help as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Nobody knows you like you do, so find those ways to motivate yourself. Make sure that you account for the things that you do wrong and create those ways so that you can restrict yourself from procrastinating and from not being accountable of your actions. And don't forget to write down your why and read that every day and read that whenever you're feeling like you don't want to do it. Go ahead and read that and self motivate. That will help you to keep going and have that passion as you keep going on your journey.
Okay, so he did have one more question. See, I'm glad I didn't cut it. Every time I'm glad I didn't cut it, there's always a reason. So he did have one more question. He said, but what if he doesn't know his why?
It's time to find it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the goal? And you evaluate that goal. Why is this my goal? Why is it important for me to achieve this goal? How will my life change if I achieve this goal? By going through this, you can figure out your why. There's actually a website called Seven Whys
No,
Deep,
7 levels deep.
7 levels deep.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually takes you and gets all the way down to your root cause. It might be annoying, but it's literally you write your why and then it says, but why? And you have to narrow it down and it says, but why? And you literally are narrowing down to the root cause of why this is important to you, why this is your goal. That is your why.
And even
Now,
if you
is it spelled out 7 levels deep or with the number?
I think it's spelled. Let me check really quick.
Okay, because I want to put it in the chat.
Seven, the number. So 7levelsdeep.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's really simple, but it actually, like, we had to do it and to really kind of find, so we can find people that are aligned with us for our group and our business. And it really helped. And he had to say it take a really long time, because after like 3 levels, you're like, Jesus, I told you everything. But it's digging deep. And it's literally 7 whys of digging deep in yourself to figure out, why am I actually doing this? So if you really just have no idea why you're pushing for this goal, really evaluate your life and
Awesome.
try to figure it out.
I graciously appreciate y'all tonight. Y'all really don't even understand. I do, like, I mean, well, I appreciate y'all every time I talk to y'all. So, but yes, I just want you guys again to always stay encouraged. I love you guys. I want to see you guys do the big stuff. So I'm waiting for the webinars, and I'm waiting for the seminars and all the conferences and all that good stuff. So I'm waiting for all of that stuff, because I know it's coming. And I know that when they give it to y'all, it's gonna be really good, because the stuff they give to you now is good, and I appreciate them wanting to take the time to give it to you the proper way, and not just give y'all something that's not well put together. You know what I mean? Anybody could hop on something and say, "Here you go," and that's not how you guys want to do it, and I appreciate that the most, because
Thank
I'm
you.
always one of those people that you do things with a spirit of excellence. Not saying that it got to be perfection, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, but you don't want to give anybody trash, you know what
Right.
I mean. You want to give them something that they can really get and use, so that's the good part about it. Also, again, I'm just congratulating you guys early, ahead of time, for what I know will be coming down the pipe once all of these things come into motion. And I'm going ahead and I'm giving y'all a public invite to our October the 13th show. That is our second year anniversary as a podcast.
Oh,
So I'm inviting you guys on that night. You don't have to stay on long, but I would love for you guys to come on, because you have been, prior guests, and we are inviting all the prior guests back to give us
Okay.
words of encouragement that night. So I'm inviting you guys on that night, and I'll make sure you guys get a link.
Okay.
So
cool.
That
it'll
would
be
be great.
I
yeah,
definitely,
so it'll be
definitely
October
want
the
to check into
13th
that.
at 7 p.m. So just make sure you jot it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so excited about where I know you guys are headed, and just keep moving forward, keep pushing to the top, because the bottom is too crowded. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah, I so
I
appreciate
like
you. Right.
I'm gonna steal your quote.
that.
But I love it. And I never knew about the 7 levels deep. I have read I don't even remember where I got it from. It's in some of my notes somewhere. Um that it was a whole thing about learning your why, but it was from somebody else's website, and I don't remember where it's from, but I know it's an excerpt from a book.
Mhm.
Um, and but I never knew about the 7 levels deep. So thank you guys for that, and I made sure that I put that in the chat as well. So for you guys that do not understand your why, and you don't really know your why, please go check out their website so that you will know. I
Because
mean, it's
it's,
important. Go ahead.
oh, I'll say because it's funny because we have kids, and when they're younger, they don't quite understand things. So you tell them something, but they're like, "But Daddy, why?" And you're like, "Okay, this is why, but why? And why? And why?" It's basically the same thing, but it gets you down to the root cause of why you do what you do, or this is why you show up as what you do. It could be for anything. We have different whys for the different things that we do, or different things we even aspire to do in our life. So it's not just like a one size fits all. It's
Right.
it's whatever you're feeling or feel called to in the moment.
Yeah, you can
Right.
plug in any scenario that you're going through, and you could just understand, like you said, even why you're acting a certain way, and get down to that. Basically, like a little therapy session right here of
Right.
understanding why you're doing what you're doing, and then that can help you evaluate better and change those habits better.
But it
Awesome.
only works. The secret is it only works if you're honest with yourself. And I'm
Okay.
sorry I'm pointing. But if
You're
you
good.
know, if you're not honest with yourself, you're not going to get the right answer.
Right. Right. But that's a true statement. It's just like anything else. It's just like with a boundary. They'll never understand the boundary if you're not honest about the boundary either.
Right.
You can't say, oh yeah, my door is always open, but you gotta sleep and you don't want nobody coming by your house at a certain time of night. That give the boundary. Okay,
Right.
look, you know that I'm no longer where I used to be, and it's not just me. You can't come by my house all times of night.
Right.
Please be respectful of my time and
Mhm.
understand. I don't mind if you come by, but just come by early enough,
Yeah.
and give that boundary so that people can learn how to respect what you are doing and what you are about. So
Yeah.
great. But you do have one more question. The person said, so when you are doing the fast that you say you do, what is your expectancy?
What is my what is my expectancy?
Yes.
Like the expectation of the fast.
Yes.
We were doing the fast to lose weight. So
Okay.
basically, it's about cleansing and detoxing and
Mhm.
losing weight. We were traditionally eating meat, and we didn't want to eat meat anymore. We wanted to be vegan, and that was a way to cleanse and detox and lose weight at the same time.
Okay.
So that was mostly why we were doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are fully vegan now?
We're fully vegan now. We're basically we kind of go between like more raw foods in the beginning of the day, in the middle, and then
Yeah.
we'll have like a vegan meal at night.
Mhm.
Oh,
But
awesome.
yeah, we try to stay away from the meat because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to influence anybody, and I'm not judging anybody. So I just want to say that first. But it's not really. It's not all that great. It's not all that great for you, especially with all the chemicals and the different
Yeah.
products,
Yeah.
different things that they pump into the animals, and that goes the same with vegan food too, because there's a lot of high processed vegan food that isn't good for you either. So mainly, a lot of the times, because I cook a lot, so I try to stick to more whole food recipes. So instead of trying to get the next veganized thing, I rather try to make a dish with beans, or we're gonna have like cabbage today, or I just take my time and try
Okay.
to make something that is more wholesome instead of trying to find the easy way out all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about doing the best you could do. You're never going to be perfect, but
Right.
do the best that you can do
Okay.
and throughout the process. So that's basically why we were doing it, to detox and just
Okay.
kind of mindset change. If we could be disciplined and do a water fast, you could definitely be disciplined and be vegan.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
and that was the
I
reason.
think I think they ask because when you say fast, most people think of the biblical, when people go to fast.
Oh,
And
spirit.
I think that
Okay,
I
that's
I
have
the
got
seen
reason.
you.
people do that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
To
I
do
think
a water
that's why
fast.
they ask, because that's the first thought that normally comes to somebody's mind.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Mhm.
it's not the same as if you guys who watch me a lot, when I say that I'm going on a fast or a consecration. What they did was not the same. They did it for another purpose. I do it's a regiment for me. So I do it multiple times a year for different reasons. And I
Mhm.
do it to center myself so I can hear the Lord clearly. And those type of things. So for
Yeah.
spiritual reasons. But it's a
Mhm.
different, so it was a different expectation.
Right.
So, and I
Yeah.
understand
It all
now
has to do with
why
your
why,
intent.
why
With
they
your
ask the question.
intent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
understand now why they asked the question. So it's
Yes.
Yeah.
definitely
You.
expectation, but they told y'all the reason why they did the fast that they did.
That we did
So
it. But you
yeah,
do get clarity of mind. And when
Most
you're not
definitely.
worried about food, you
yeah,
are free to worry about other things. So if that's your expectation, you will have clarity of mind. You will have more time to not have to worry about that. Your body, in the meantime, when it's not processing food, which is a large process for your body, is doing other things. It's healing and is doing different things. So I could see why people do it for religious reasons as well. So it's whatever your intent is,
right,
but that was our reason.
right. So you guys get it, but I always say that whatever your reason for fasting, always have a spirit of expectation behind it.
Mhm.
Because I promise you, if you do it the right way and you do it properly, your expectation will always be met. I can tell you that. I have never ever been on a fast where my expectation was not met. Either during the fast or like right at the end of it. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So I promise you, if you go into it with an expectation and you do it properly, it will be met. So that I can say. All right. So I hope that that answered you guys' questions for the night. And they will be back. Trust me when I tell you. So I will bring them back before the end of the year. I want to try to not bring them back in the months where I know we're going to have a whole bunch of holidays. So
We're coming
this
for October. We're
Mm.
coming
Okay,
for
yeah, 'cause that
October.
was just that's what I was gonna say, October. Since you guys are gonna come on for the anniversary show, I would like to schedule you guys to come on again the week after that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that very following week, y'all can either choose a Monday or Thursday, but I think Mondays work better for you guys,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So we'll do that following Monday after the 13th.
After
That way you guys will know. But yeah.
17.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll do the following Monday after the 13th. And I'm excited already. So I don't even know what we're gonna discuss, but we're gonna talk about it. That's all that matters. So but y'all gonna have some more gems to get from them. As I tell you, anytime that they're up here, make sure you come on with pen and pad and be ready for it because they gave a lot of good stuff this time. They get good stuff last time too. So there's no telling what you're gonna get in October. So
We want to bring a whole new curriculum, so we're gonna come up with something new to
Hmm.
talk about in October.
okay, so y'all better be ready in October. I know I'm gonna have my pen and pad ready. I keep a whole lot of notebooks, so I'm always ready.
Don't
So
be afraid to ask questions.
right, right. I tell you, I like the fact that they had questions tonight. So I'm excited. So I appreciate you. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all night. For the ones that are already watching, I'll be back with y'all at 8 o'clock. So we got a couple minutes. Y'all go eat, go get you something to drink, go do what you gotta do. I'll see y'all again at 8. All right. So I'll be back with y'all. I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night and a wonderful rest of your week. And I will see y'all in October.
Yes.
All right. And please keep me posted if y'all got like any new stuff coming up. And all that type of stuff. But I normally get the notification. So I normally know. But yeah, keep me posted if y'all got any if y'all schedule any events before October.
Okay.
Okay.
Especially so I can share them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love you guys. Y'all enjoy your night.
You
Thank
too.
you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank y'all for watching.